Hey guys, what's up? Daniel here, bringing you a Team Fortress 2 gameplay commentary. And here's something truly terrifying in itself that I had to get out before November kinda came to a close. Still more November content coming, by the way. But this is my final level in Operation Gear Grinder. It's been a year since I started my tour of duty on Operation Gear Grinder. And now I'm actually finishing it. I had not played Manworks. I was actually looking back the other day, kind of doing up some of the old channel thumbnails, well, not channel thumbnails, video thumbnails, and I was doing the old MVM ones, and then I realised, my god, I never actually finished this miniseries. It's like, for those of you who don't know, and I'm going to guess that's kind of like half the audience who now watches it, because we only had about 1,000 subs back then. Now on 2,000, which is fantastic, by the way, specials on the route. But I decided to do this kind of week-long thing where it's like, yeah, I'll do a tour of duty, I'll get 3 videos up, I'll play a different class for each of them, I'll do a commentary, post, of course, and I'll just kind of give my general thoughts and impression on actually doing a tour. And then I think what happened is I traded away my final tour of duty ticket, and I had to go buy another one the other day, because I felt bad. I hadn't actually finished that. I genuinely felt awful, because I hadn't finished my tour. I've never actually finished a tour of duty in Team Fortress 2 as well, so that's the closest I'd ever come. And I've left this hanging for a year now, guys. Solid, like, it's a whole year. I felt pretty bad about it, so I decided, you know, I've got to jump right back into this. I've really got to just finish my tour, get my freaking awesome Carbonado Bocular weapon, which I do get, by the way. I do get the weapon that I actually wanted as well, which is pretty fantastic. But you see, this nature of kind of hopping back into Man vs. Machine, this got me thinking about the state of Man vs. Machine in general. And, of course, this is also inspired, of course, by the surprise update that we got just the other day, which I don't think anyone was expecting. So, traditionally for TF2, the updates for the later half of the year is that we get the Scream Fortress update, of course. We get the Smithmas update, which is pretty much the whole month of December now. They've kind of extended it just a bit. And that's generally it, because those are kind of close. There was only like a month gap in between them. So it's generally just those 2 updates for the last bit of the year. But this is like late to mid-November. And we actually got an update just the other day that actually is for Man vs. Machine. Like, it's kind of focused on it. And it's the Tale of Two Cities update. Dickens inspired, by the way. And it adds 2 new Man vs. Machine maps, that being Rottenburg and Manhattan. They're kind of urban environments, one kind of countryside urban, if that's even the thing, and then one, of course, just being Manhattan, standard urban. And so it adds those 2 maps, and then it also adds a couple of balance changes for Medic, which I don't think anyone was really expecting. You can now revive dead teammates as Medic, and you can kind of pop up a shield with your Medigun to block all projectiles for a while. And so this really got me thinking about the state of Man vs. Machine, because this seems to be the game mode that people just acknowledge in Team Fortress 2. They acknowledge like how fun it is, like it's really cool to play, but they don't actually play it. You see, I know for a fact that whenever I hop into Team Fortress 2 now, I just kind of go into a random lobby. It's what I like to play. I'll just casually play some Team Fortress 2 in a random pub group. Man vs. Machine seems to be left just to one side though, because we have that option just to kind of randomly pop onto a server and just play standard Team Fortress 2, because it's standard Team Fortress 2. It's an unbelievable amount of fun. While Man vs. Machine is cool and all, like fighting off robots with your friends and that. By the way, the suggested way of still playing this is with your friends. I do pub groups because I am insane and have no friends. But it's still advised that you actually do play this with friends, and it's a lot of fun to do that. But we just don't. Like, as a community, as a whole, we don't. So many of us just don't. I don't think it really helps as well, the Tour of Duty tickets. If you want to do this properly on the Valve service, you gotta pay like 40 cents for a ticket. It's not that expensive, but I think it almost acts like a deterrent. It's like, 40 cents. It's like we almost feel reluctant to pay just that really, really insignificant amount of money there. But it does seem to act as a deterrent for Man vs. Machine. And it seems to be very much a style of game mode now, where it's like, oh yay, Valve's released a new map for this. Everyone will go on to play MVM just for the week or so, and then they've got their fix and they're done, and they will not look at it again until the next MVN update. And this honestly seems to be the way of things for this game mode, which seems to be a real shame, because there's a lot of effort that seems to be that has been put in to this game mode. Like, it's a lot of fun, like picking up the money, all those kind of mechanics. The fact that they rebalance some of the classes as well in kind of like new and unexpected ways for this horde mode, like spies in this game mode, for example. That's really cool. The sapper actually just kind of can disable packs of robots. There's a lot of cool things going for this game mode, but we just actively don't play it. We don't. And I think the reason for this is just because we can casually pop into Team Fortress 2. But perhaps bigger even, is that when we even play friends with Team Fortress 2 now, it's like inspired by the likes of Germa and Star and such, we just want to play on a random server and we just want random crazy shit to happen in our games now. We honest to God do. It's kind of what we just jump into, just looking for those random funny moments that are going to happen. Can that really happen when you're against a AI controlled robot army? I honestly don't think so. It's like the only kind of funny moments that you can really have in MVM is just some of the either ridiculous losses you might suffer, or just a real feeling of tension and really getting through a scenario. And I say tension because, like, suppose like the robots are about to like kind of detonate the bomb. Just that feeling when you actually stop them, moments before they succeed. That's pretty fantastic. Like, it honest to God is. But it's a different kind of experience, though. It's not the casual fun, really, that we almost get from just casually joining lobbies in Team Fortress 2. It's a different kind of experience, and for Team Fortress 2, we just seem to be not looking for it. Although it is here, although it is so polished and so much fun, it doesn't seem to be something we're looking for. So whenever there is an update for this, we just seem to get our fix, and then we move on. Like, that's pretty much all we do. I don't really know any like personalities on YouTube even, just thinking about now, who've like actively been dedicated to like playing this game mode, or haven't kind of raised this issue as well. The fact that we just seem to leave this game mode after we've experienced the content of the update. So it does seem to be a real issue that just seems to happen in Team Fortress 2. And so, moving on from that, what I was trying to come up with is a couple of suggestions. Yes, I know. Listen to me, Valve, because I'm just a random guy with a microphone on the interwebs. But I was actually kind of thinking about it, though, just kind of trying to give it some thought as to how we could kind of just spice this up a bit, maybe make it a bit more engaging. And you see, the idea that I kind of came to that would really just contribute quite a bit to this. Now, hear me out on this one, guys, just for a sec. But you know how the robots are grey, man? Well, what if instead of just having the red team against grey, man, like the grey team, what if we had red and blue against the hordes of robots? So suppose it was competitive horde, like a horde game mode, and you're actually fighting against a separate team of 6 mercenaries, and you are both trying to combat each other as well as defend your base. So you can have, like, suppose a split branching path. All the robots would emerge from one central point, and they kind of get to a fork in the road, upon which they would then attack 2 bases. So there'd be 2 separate parts, like, on the map that both the blues and the reds will be trying to defend. And ultimately your goal is not only to fight back the robots, but try and take out the other team. And see, when I was thinking about it like this adds a huge amount of options just for that kind of random fun nature that we get in Man vs. Machine, in Team Fortress 2 in general, that it's known for. It just adds so much, because the fact that you're now competing against players, as well as this ridiculous robot army that's trying to hunt you down, that adds a lot, because you can actually now either focus shooting down the robots if that's your thing, or you can just kind of fight the other team and just like acknowledge, like, oh yeah, these robots too, oh god, they're trying to murder us. Like, that to me sounds a lot more enjoyable than just these standard kind of horde modes that we've got right now. And it doesn't change it too much. It changes it quite a bit. I can't deny that. But not to the extent where, like, it's a radically new kind of game mode. Like, it is that kind of small detail that it adds. The addition of that other team that you know that you're now actively competing against. Because, to be honest, like, in this style of game mode, you're not going to have all that many options to go and harass that other team, because if you try to focus on that other team and not your robots, you're just going to lose because the robots are going to destroy you, because you're trying to murder the other team, which doesn't really work in the end. But having that option there, that really adds a lot of variety to the gameplay, and it almost like adds different tiers of victory almost. Like, think about it for a sec, you could either win just against the robots, or you could just say, it's like, well, we lasted longer than the other guys, and thus we won. Like, it's different kinds of success almost, and it just adds a lot. And I'm sorry, I just got distracted. My cat's actually on my microphone. Right, get off, Suddy. Get off the microphone. Sorry about that. He's kind of wandering about the desk. But to me, that idea of that game mode, the two teams on one man versus machine map fighting off robots together, and then of course each other alongside that. That sounds like a really cool idea to me, and personally, I think it is something that would just bring a lot more attention to this. Because again, it's the fact that we're not playing against players here. That's what seems to detract from this. Because the random nature of Team Fortress 2, you just don't get it here. It's not the same. You get a very tense atmosphere. It's really enjoyable, and it's actually quite challenging in that respect. But it's not the kind of goofy nature of Team Fortress 2 that we're really just accustomed to, and what we really play this game for. Like, in all honesty, if we were really after that kind of tense atmosphere in an FPS or something, then we'd probably just go play Battlefield or Call of Duty. Because they don't have any of that goofiness. They're much more kind of serious. They're about that tense atmosphere of games. Team Fortress 2 is just kind of goofiness and random crits all over the place. So to me, that's why I think that Man vs. Machine, if they were to add that, it would be a dream come true, and I think it would bring a lot of people back to playing this game mode, which is something that it really does need, because we don't want Man vs. Machine to really be this flavour of the month as it is right now, because there's so much in this game mode. Like, it's got so much potential. It's a lot of fun, even with the tense atmosphere and that. I really just don't want to see it just kind of go downhill. It's like, do you remember like all the hype that was behind this? The fact that we had this like alternate reality game that was happening, we were finding random items in Team Fortress 2. People were trying these random crafting blueprints, trying to discover what this was. I mean, this game mode was hinted on like for years in advance. Like, even if you haven't seen already, the Engineer update trailer, there's actually robot heads in that. Like, they were planning this game mode since back then. Like, this was many, many years in the making. And now that it's finally here, we just seem to disregard it because it's just not regular Team Fortress 2, which is like a crying shame. So I do feel that adding that competitive aspect to it with other players would just add so much more. And they have taken steps towards this as well, by the way, because with the newest update, the scoreboards that you can see on the server, that keeps track of the amount of damage you've done, the amount of healing you've done. Like, you can really compare yourself to your other teammates, and that actually adds a lot more to it, because again, you're actively competing against them. You can kind of see who's contributing as well, and who's pretty much ultimately the best player on your team. But if you were to have that for another team on top of that, and be pitted against them in the Man vs. Machine robot onslaught, that would be pretty awesome. It just would. And I really kind of hope that they think somewhere along the lines of this and implement this type of game mode. So yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on Man vs. Machine, and what I think Valve should do to kind of spice this up a bit. And I suppose in cheesy YouTube commentator style, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe. In all seriousness, what do you guys think? Like, if you have any kind of ideas that you just want to put out there, do let me know. It's up to you, honestly. Anyway, that's going to be it for this commentary. As you can see here, I do get the weapon I want. It is the Carbonado Bot Killer Rocket Launcher. And I am really, really happy with that. I do not own a strange normal variant of rocket launcher. I've been using it a lot more as of late, so it's actually the one I really wanted to get, and I did. So I was quite happy about that. So that's going to be it for this commentary. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Expect to see some future coverage on this little mini update in between big updates for Team Fortress 2. Expect to see more November stuff en route. It is going to happen. I know we're in the last week of it. And the 2,000 subscriber stuff, that'll be happening way more off for Christmas. Until then, I'll see you next time.